TPR.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the TPR Pod. This is episode 120. Today's guest is Saltafa. If you are a young person, Pakistani young person on the internet, especially on Instagram, you know who Saltafa is. If you're an older person, like I am, you probably have no idea who Saltafa is. And if you do, maybe you don't like him. Saltafa is a young person. He runs several accounts primarily on Instagram, but a couple YouTube channels as well. At least one YouTube channel. They are basically meme accounts where he posts a lot of memes, reposting other people's work, making his own content, that sort of stuff. There's a lot of things to consider. There's Instagram live sessions, podcasts, talking about social issues, merch, and I might even be missing a few things here. But what there is a large number of fans. Saltafa has interestingly been somebody who was suggested to us for a couple of years now. It's not weird that he was suggested to us. The weird thing was I did not want him on. We talk about this in the episode. I tell him what my concerns or hesitations were about, how and why they changed. It's all discussed. So it's an interesting chat in the episode because we don't usually change our opinions about people. But yeah, we talk about how he started, how things went. There was a huge account which got taken down, what the circumstances of that were, and what the future is, what he's doing right now, some criticisms, the most common criticisms that he faces, and how he feels about them. Yeah, so all in all, an interesting chat. I think that if you're not very well familiar with him as a person, this episode will be good for you to get like a deeper understanding of who the guy is and why he's doing it. With that being said, let's jump right into episode 120 of the TPR podcast with Saltafa. वो होने लगा मुझे कि am I like restricting myself only to these ideas और फिर मैं सिर्फ इन्हीं बारे में बात करूंगा, यही पूछूंगा, कोई और बात होगी नहीं. But yeah, this is constant improvement that nobody will see or think about, but what we obsess over. But khair, I would like to tell people, but this is the one where you take your mask off. Is this? होने वाला face reveal, as it's called.
That is what it's called.
Is that going to happen? Do you think someday? Do you think you can?
I think so. Yeah, I was going to do it before the pandemic hit. It was all planned out. It was really well planned out. There was an entire plan. There was a really cool big brand involved as well. So वो सारा था, because it's very tough to create content with a mask on.
Okay.
I can't publicly vlog, which is something I love doing. In real life footage, उसको edit करने का मजा अलग आता है. So I'm a bit restricted to online based content.
Right.
So gaming, some odd video. I just have to sit here and do it. And then I need to make it viewable because I don't have expressions. So that takes away a lot from the video.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
editing में I have to make up for it by editing ज़्यादा.
Yeah. This sort of reminds me of V for Vendetta wali story. Okay, when the film came out, obviously he was मुझे नाम याद नहीं आएगा boy का, Agent Smith जो है, उन्होंने मास्क पहना हुआ था हजरत ने in the whole movie, and that obviously brings a challenge because he's supposed to be acting and emoting and showing expressions वगैरह सब कुछ. So it was really something that he had to make like extra effort on, just so that it doesn't look like just somebody with a mask, because you have to be more expressive with your body. Like from an artistic level, I don't know how much you think about it that way, but like it has like a unique set of challenges, I suppose.
Definitely, and it's cool, but also a bit kabhi was, because I really like doing in real life content. I have 3 vlogs on my channel. और जो तीसरा जब मुझे एडिटिंग आ गई थी जो बनाया था, that was my favorite one. And obviously there's benefits to it which I really like and enjoy, and that's the reason I'm probably still wearing it. But वही है कि once I take it off, I can't put it back on. So I will be signing that part of my life away.
You'll have to
So
do
as you
like
know,
a
हाँ,
Mick Foley, Mankind sort of situation. कि बस नया character बन रहा है, and we know it's the same guy, but it's like, no, this is now
yeah,
I'm just a character. How many
yeah, but
people do we know?
huh?
How many people do we know who know what you look like?
I think two.
Okay, okay, chalo.
Yeah,
That's so like even in real life, you have to keep the thing going.
definitely. Because I just want what I'm doing to be separate from who I am, because then people start to think that is solely what you are,
Hmm.
and it's not. It's just a chunk. Like it is me, but it's like
Hmm.
5% of me. It's a few
Hmm.
minutes of my day or life. और लोग वो 5 से 10 मिनट देख के एक assumption करते हैं कि अब आप public property हो. Like you have to now we have to invest into your life and you can't do anything about it. And I really don't like that. I really
Yeah.
like privacy, and I don't want personal accolade or attention for whatever I've done. क्योंकि वो it just doesn't appeal to me. मुझे
Hmm.
क्यों किसी और का approval चाहिए
Hmm.
अपने या validation चाहिए. तो it's just I don't want that. I don't want people coming up to me in the street. Like it doesn't appeal to me.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Huh.
Is that something you thought of शुरू से या something you grew to realize कि ये एक फायदा है? Because this is also Daft Punk वाले boys will also said this कि भाई it's हम France में हैं, we're like the fucking most famous band, but nobody not
हाँ
you can find what they look like, but कौन करेगा इतनी मेहनत है?
हाँ
They're like fuck it, no one knows who I am. I'm
हाँ
walking down the
हाँ
street.
exactly. मतलब this is something I grew into. I didn't know Daft Punk said that too. But मुझे शुरू में it was more. I was very big on mental health.
Okay.
Due to personal events in my life, I lost
Okay.
a friend to depression. So
Okay.
when I started this page, it was just MA. It was me just ranting about my CIs. I was 16, 17 तब.
Hmm.
So that's how it started off. एक 15 या 16 साल का बच्चा और वो सिर्फ rants कर रहा है, memes बना रहा है, इस तरह की हो रही है.
Yeah.
But then also I used to talk to people and उस तरह की चीज. But then it grew really fast and people weren't as comfortable confiding in. So I studied psychology and इस तरह की चीजें growing up, and I knew the concept of if I'm anonymous, they'll feel more comfortable because then I'm not me, the person. I am Saltafa, the brand or the identity. एक
Hmm.
second, phone बज गया.
But yeah,
So
how did you first get to? You've been asked this question before, I'm sure, but how did
yeah,
the mask find you first, and why is it a Pakistan mask?
I wish I had like बहुत deep reason कि मुझे मुल्क से बहुत
Make
मोहब्बत है,
something up.
but I could. So पहले असल वाला अभी बता
Sure,
देता हूँ.
sure,
I
sure,
have
sure.
this really cool story for the meaning of the name though.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. So as a kid, I was really into dinosaurs,
Okay.
and आपको पता है वो Latin वगैरह होता है, and I was really into science and all of that stuff. So I used to study Latin properly,
Okay.
and so I ended up like being obsessed with the word sal in Latin, which was love or happiness. And then as I grew older, we दोस्तों के साथ लगे हुए हैं. I had a nerdy group of friends and we were studying Sanskrit. तो फिर tafa was a word I found which meant carrier or messenger. So Saltafa means
Oh.
carrier or messenger of happiness, which is super cool. But the mask, I just found it उस वक्त. हम live जा रहे थे, मैं और मेरे दोस्त 2-3 होते थे उस वक्त साथ मेरे, who've
Hmm.
left the page now
Okay.
because it is stressful and
Yeah.
it takes up a lot of your life. So they've left now, but हम live जा रहे थे and we planned कि अच्छा mask या कुछ पहन लेंगे. And this is just the one I found उस वक्त. So there's no story behind that.
Okay. Okay. Apart from the fact that you were perhaps like a secret project of the Pakistani military, जो कि got loose गलती से एक दिन कोई security guards हो गया, and now you're like out there. But that's the different that story.
अभी इसी वक्त आपका दरवाजा पीछे खुल गया और अंदर कमांडो था. This is
Vigo
where the
somehow in my
podcast
apartment.
ends.
Acha.
They've got you.
So what's the thing? So you and your friends now when do you discover internet content creation? What year is it?
When I started Saltafa, it was 2017.
Okay.
But
2017 is a very important year.
bro,
Light चली गई.
beautiful. Beautiful. आज ही होना है सारे shoes. Let me just open a tentative light. It's not gonna look as cool, but
No,
we're still gonna have lights.
I'm in it for the vibes. सवाल ही मैंने
बहुत
ऐसा
ही cool
पूछा है.
vibes.
वो अभी हमने बात की थी ना about
Pakistan Army and all of that. Just is this bad?
I
I
think
could switch
landscape is
rooms.
better. Yeah.
No, the light's really bad. Is my.
Oh no, you're fine.
I could switch rooms.
No, you're
चलिए
fine.
मर्जी
You're
है.
fine. Yeah. You're fine. I
All
think
right.
this adds even more like anonymous kind
Yeah, I
of
get
vibes. ठीक है. So 2017, the very important year for Pakistan ka content creation landscape.
That is when I started. But अभी मुझे याद आ रहा है, I've done something similar when I was smaller. I used to play a game called Travian.
Yep.
I don't know how you say it, but
Okay.
उस वक्त भी I like कपड़ा बांध के, and I had a YouTube channel छोटा सा. It wasn't very big, or I didn't do it for very long. I deleted it up. होता तो बहुत cool होता, लेकिन तब भी I tried doing it. So yeah, maybe that somehow subconsciously.
And what you
led to
started
this.
was the Instagram account?
In 2017, yes.
Okay. And what was the Instagram account like? What were you putting up?
I was putting up like school की तस्वीरें, छोटे से vlogs, हल्के से memes तब भी, and yeah, it was just like really long rants because उस वक्त CIs हो रहे थे O3 के, and I was very stressed out, and I was just talking about that.
Okay. And this
Yeah.
is you, and you mentioned like other friends as well.
I started it.
Okay.
फिर वो हुआ कि मेरे दोस्तों ने देखा और उन्होंने अपने पेजेस शुरू किए. But I was like, why are you doing that? You can just do it together. You can just join my page. और मेरा मसला ये है कि once I start something and try and do it properly, like I at least give it a year. I have this concept where I need to be at least above average at it.
Okay.
और उनका ये वाला concept नहीं था. तो most like one of them left a weekend.
Okay.
उनके CIs हो रहे थे.
Right.
The other one left as well. I think within a month. और बाद में he joined back like a year or so later when it was actually doing well. 2 years later he joined when it started doing well. So it took 2 years for us to actually start taking off and people to start investing into the page and liking it in a way. So tab one of them came back. Yeah.
Okay. And when how does the content change? Because initially you're talking about your CIEs. O3 is like the last year of O levels. So uske baad, like, do things change? Why do they change? Do your interests change?
No, I still love doing that. I know I'm good at it as well. I know I'm good at it because I'm wearing a mask, but people still like, have a connection with me. So without it, I'd be much better at it. But the thing was, I started wearing the mask. I started hiding my identity.
Right.
So I didn't know how much of my life I could give away without it being obvious who I was. Because a lot of the people who followed me was from my circle. They knew me or knew of me essentially. So us waqt bas I pulled back a little on what was going on in my life, and also it was a bit tougher to make content in A1, A2. A levels is stressful.
Yeah.
So it just ended up being me posting memes I liked because. So बीच में I stopped Saltafa. I stopped doing it क्योंकि it wasn't doing well and साल हो गया था. We had 300 followers and I had about 5,000 posts.
5,000.
But हाँ, तो जब वो हुआ तो a friend texted me, an acquaintance जिसके साथ मेरी उतनी बातचीत भी नहीं थी, and he told me कि it was helping him cope with like depression and anxiety. Like the memes were an out to him from his toxic household. So but that really stuck with me, yaar. And that's still one of the main motivators. I kept the page going despite like no engagement, no followers.
Okay.
और बस फिर पता नहीं growth कब हुई.
And even at that time, so this is like क्या एक साल after you started. At that point in your mind, were you thinking in terms of like engagement honi chahiye? Was that like a factor that you associated with the account, like your interest with the account?
Yeah, when I closed the account off, it just felt like I was wasting a lot of time. That is all. So it wasn't even कि engagement नहीं आ रही है, ये नहीं हो रहा. I never thought of it as a career or something I could even make money off that. So it was just I'm wasting a lot of time posting memes for what? For like 10 people or 5 people who like them.
Yeah.
So how is that adding value to my life? बस ये था मसला.
5,000 in a year is like more than 10, 12 posts a day. Like if
Yeah,
you average
it
it
was a
out,
lot.
that's a lot. Acha. So, फिर what changes? Like in terms of like
I
your trajectory.
Man, that text really changed it for me because then I didn't care about engagement. I didn't
Acha.
care about if people were liking or commenting. मुझे पता था वो एक बंदा जो है उसके लिए this is way bigger than I ever imagined it. और अगर वो एक बंदा ने मुझे बताया है 300 लोगों में से तो और कितने मतलब 2 और लोग भी होंगे जिनको ये इस तरह इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है. तो how powerful is that? It's nothing. I'm just posting memes. So that really like just did something.
Hmm.
Like gave me a motivator. George tak I use to this
Okay.
day.
And when does it start to take off in terms of like traction वगैरह?
यार जुलूस हुए थे लाहौर में और सारे मौलवी थे और वो चीजें तोड़ रहे थे और यूम्स हो रहा था एंड आई मेड पहले आई वाज रीपोस्टिंग अ लॉट बट देन आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग मीम्स ऑन दैट माय सेल्फ क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली इट वाज समथिंग दैट वाज हैपनिंग इन पाकिस्तान.
Sure.
पाकिस्तान में मीम्स कोई उस तरह बनाता नहीं था करंट सिचुएशन पे. तो मैंने जो हमारे सामने हो रहा था उसके ऊपर मीम्स बनाने शुरू कर दिए एंड देन सडनली लाइक वी वर गेनिंग 1,000 फॉलोअर्स अ डे. लाइक it grew really fast then because apparently जो मुझे समझ लगी थी ना वो ये थी कि people knew of the page, they would go on the page and they'd look at the memes but they wouldn't follow it for some reason. So that switch happened between then.
Okay. This is what, 2018, 19?
2019-ish, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Okay. Was it because this inflection point sort of thing is always, people react to it differently. Like एकदम से जब growth आना शुरू होती है ना, especially when
Hmm.
people are looking to grow, they're like, finally, some people are like, oh, finally I'm getting the attention I deserve. And some people could also like the opposite spectrum is they like freak out. They're like, oh bhai, this is like too much attention. I don't know
Yeah,
कौन
I was
क्या
scared.
सोचेगा.
I
Yeah.
was I was scared. Because there's this concept I think I heard on YouTube, but I've held it close to me that virality is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because when, for example, a YouTube video goes viral, फिर वो जो नई ऑडियंस आती है वो सिर्फ उस वीडियो की वजह से आती है और उनकी परसेप्शन आपसे होती है कि आप यही करोगे एंड they don't even fully understand you. So whenever I start gaining followers really fast or get a lot of attention, I just go private and I slow it down because
अच्छा.
मेरे लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज कनेक्शन टू माय ऑडियंस है.
Okay.
और जब वो नए लोग आते हैं उनका कोई अलग नोशन होता है. It's just not it messes it up.
Hmm. Hmm. When how many
But
followers are you at that point in this year? जुलूस के बाद?
I think we ended up 5,000 followers
Okay.
within summers तक.
Okay.
5,000 हो गए थे. और उस वक्त मैंने लोगों को 1,000 followers पे कहा था कि 5,000 followers पे I'll make merch because they were
अच्छा.
really insistent कि make merch.
अच्छा, उस वक्त तक merge का concept था.
लोग forced me into it और मुझे यही था कि भाई मैं पागल हूँ मैं merch बनाऊंगा.
Yeah.
And I thought 5,000 was an insanely high number I'd never reach.
Okay.
तो लाइक एक बहुत कूल पिक्चर है उसमें मैंने फोटोशॉप किया हुआ है फॉर माय ट्विटर बैकग्राउंड ना उधर आई यूज्ड टू पुट अपना उसका. तो उसमें मैंने फॉलोअर्स फोटोशॉप किए हैं जो मेरे लिए बहुत ज्यादा थे. वो 3,000 फॉलोअर्स हैं और मैंने वो फोटोशॉप की हुई है अपने पोस्ट के उसके साथ और Saltafa के साथ और मैंने वो बैकग्राउंड पिक्चर की. तो 5,000 वाज इनसेन टू मी कि होंगे ही नहीं. तो मैंने कहा 5,000 पे I'll do it and we reached 5,000 and then they absolutely went off at me कि अब बनाओ मर्च.
Hmm. Hmm. What sort of merch did you get into? Like shirts वगैरह?
Yeah, sure. It was an experience क्योंकि वही I didn't want to take the easy way. I don't want anybody else to do it. मैं खुद मार्केट्स में जाके घूमा शूमा. I'd saved up like 30,000. मतलब I used to do freelance tasks बचपन में तो I never spent that money और वो saved up था. I just spent that on the first batch to get it made. And it's just उस तरह हर बैच से जो प्रॉफिट आता है वो अगले मर्च को बनाने में लग जाता है. and that's how it's been running tab se.
And how was the response? Sab bik gaya?
It was insane. Within an hour, it sold out. I
Wow.
I was in Murray और मैंने पोस्ट किया और बस जस्ट मैं फोन को देख रहा था और सोल्ड आउट हो गया घंटे में. मैंने कहा कि बढ़ा देते हैं क्वांटिटी थोड़ी सी. And it was really cool, yeah. It
But
was
how many do you know the number? कितने बिके, क्या बेचा?
हाँ, पहला बैच 69 shirts का था
Nice.
for the culture. And it ended up being 100 shirts का because it sold out quite fast.
Wow.
5,000 followers में कौन merch करता है मतलब.
Yeah.
लेकिन हाँ, I think the connection with the audience was really good. So,
but 5,000 is still a very low number considering page until its untimely demise kahan tak pahuncha tha. So when do you start like branching out? Because abhi thode din pehle I found another Saltafa account and I was like, achha, ek cheez ho rahi hai. When do you start thinking of it more like because there has to be a shift, right, in your mind where you're like, I'm just doing like, I'm just shit posting. Yeah, kuch log dekh rahe hain, chalo, I'm with my friends.
yeah,
5,000 people are not your friends. Now you have passed the friendship wala, bubble, and now it's like just public. So when do you start thinking of it more like, I need to treat this like properly?
it was more, it turned into a community, which was really, it was taking up a lot of my life. And I had us waqt bhi a backup page which was for dank memes or just memes that weren't as family friendly.
Right.
और वो page got deleted
Achha.
at 5,000 followers. तब main page 10,000 followers पे था.
How did that happen?
और वो 5,000 पे, it just happened because it was not with community guidelines ना.
अच्छा.
So it got deleted and that's when it hit me कि how temporary this is. कि Instagram कभी भी delete कर सकता है. So I just wanted to branch out into other stuff ताकि खुदा ना खास्ता इस तरह का कुछ हो भी. So I already have a solid base of followers who know इधर भी है. So I made a Twitter, then I made a YouTube. I started doing podcasts उस वक्त. And it was sort of that stuff that led to me wanting to branch out and be more secure.
Right.
I didn't want to lose 3 साल की मेहनत इस तरह.
And the A levels at this point khatam ho gaya? At this point we're talking.
When I started making content, yes, A levels had ended.
Acha. What was how are things going in your personal life at this point? Like your friends, people who know kya chahiye to hamara dost hai. And I'm sure your ghar wale must also know कि ये कुछ कर रहा है. I mean, how was that?
उनको घर वालों को पता चला था after I started merch. But the fun thing is all of the stuff that is big or of substance that started after my school ended. School में लोगों को obviously पता था कि अच्छा ये कर रहा है because शुरू में it was my friends and school people following it. But as soon as वो वाला pressure गया कि लोग judge कर रहे हैं असल जिंदगी में, I did my first live with the mask on, and then it started growing and turning into its own thing. So people in my life didn't know at that point. क्योंकि वो जो लोगों को पता था वो मेरी जिंदगी का हिस्सा नहीं थे, वो अपनी जिंदगियों में मसरूफ थे, and I wasn't interacting with them. So
what about the घर वाले?
घर वाले found out when I was doing merch, and they were really confused कि क्या कर क्या रहे हो, और मतलब अपने सारे जो तुमने पैसे इतनी देर से बचाए, like I'd been saving since I was, I don't know, 12-13. तो वो सारे पैसे इधर क्यों लगा रहे हो, मतलब ठीक हो क्या है, समझा तो दो. And they thought इतना टाइम लगा रहे हो, जाया कर रहे हो. And there was a point where they were really involved in it as well. कि हम खाने पे बैठे हैं, मेरे अब्बा कह रहे हैं तो मास्क उतार दो ना. पहनने का फायदा. और मेरी अम्मा साथ उतारे दे रही है कि तुम तो सिर्फ इसलिए मास्क पहन रहे हो ताकि तुम्हें मुंह ना धोना पड़े. I said नहीं.
That's a side benefit.
Yeah, that is actually a benefit. लेकिन मुझे मुंह ज्यादा धोना पड़ता है इसकी वजह से.
Right, I can imagine. Yeah. अच्छा.
At one point I got an allergy from the mask because I was wearing it too much.
It was hard. I think mask related afflictions तो अब सारी दुनिया को काफी हद तक समझ आ गई है. But अच्छा, so then what happens after A levels? Do you go into college, university? Are you like, this is my life now?
Yeah. So I was doing football really zor se up till
Okay.
A levels.
Okay.
I had to quit that because of a knee injury. I was told I couldn't play again. तो फिर मेरा जो सारा effort football पे लग रहा था, I thought I have this little project. I'll take this ज़्यादा, like I invested all of my energy into Saltafa,
Hmm.
and it just changed तब. 2020 था, I think 2019 होगा. 2019
Okay.
शुरू हुआ था, and I just spent all of my time on Saltafa and trying to branding stuff like that. It was
Hmm.
subconscious, but it was stupid stuff as well at that time. लेकिन मुझे बस अपना हमारे जो unhealthy coping mechanism है ना मेरा, वो है to work really hard so I don't think about it. So that's
Life
how
के
that
वास्ते.
happened.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
And what was the university thing? Post A levels पढ़ाई का क्या हो रहा था? Because like sure your घर वाले
हाँ.
know कि now he's doing something, but they'll be like अच्छा लेकिन पढ़ाई तो चलती रहेगी ना.
हाँ, definitely. I got into unis. I got good scholarships. I was a good student. But वही, because of the football thing, I wasn't in a good space mentally.
Okay.
So I decided not to go because मैंने apply सिर्फ बाहर किया हुआ था. और मुझे बस मेरा पर्सनल बिलीफ ये था कि अगर मैं अभी इतनी गंदी स्टेट में हूँ और मैं बाहर चला गया,
Yeah.
away from family, friends, into a new environment, I might fuck my life up. I
Okay.
might get into drugs or some unhealthy habits.
Okay.
So I just decided to not go then.
Hmm.
और हाँ, फिर पाकिस्तान में I've been staying तब से, and the plan is to go बाहर again up to one of the universities I was accepted at.
Okay. So you didn't do university in Pak. You're not in university right now.
I am.
Okay. I mean, there's also like a limit as to what I can ask. I'm like, कौन सी university?
Definitely.
What sort of, what are you
Definitely can't
studying?
ask that.
What are you studying?
Computer science.
अच्छा.
Computer science.
Okay. Why that?
Same about the mental health thing. I really wanted to make an application
Okay.
that could just help people out, mental health app.
Hmm.
And also, there's endless limits to it. Okay, it's such a valuable skill, skill, and you can make anything you want using
Hmm.
code.
Hmm.
So that was a real motivator with that. The app though was one of the main goals. Here, yeah, app बनानी है मैंने.
Okay. Okay. So here, when does the when do you get like proper famous? When does the Saltafa account get like 50,000, 100,000? How did that happen? Was gradual growth?
Gradual, very slow, gradual, stable growth. There were no other points of अब एकदम से growth हो गई. वो एक दफा हुआ था. We gained a good 5,000 or 3,000 तब. उसके बाद
Okay.
it's been really stable and slow.
Hmm.
और at 5 years के across it grew to 2,000 then 200,000.
200,000. Yeah, because I remember there was a point where I had never heard of Saltafa account, and you
हाँ.
just internet में ऐसा लगता है कि you know everything, but also there's like so much stuff on the internet that you could
Definitely.
never find stuff also. But then
Definitely.
there was like I don't know, I think it's 2019 wala period. Maybe that's when we restarted the podcast consistently, or Dijing se baatcheet hui, or then there was like a thing where Saltafa is like everywhere. Now everybody knows him. Ye sare jo Gen Z YouTuber crew aaya, they were all like fully on the Saltafa train. Or
हाँ.
yeah. So there are some things that we'll talk about. But like when did things change in terms of like how you felt about the project once you were proper famous?
I'll be honest, मुझे बहुत देर तक पता भी नहीं चला कि ये इतना बड़ा हो गया, क्योंकि I was living my life. मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ रहा था और मेरा सारा टाइम उधर ही जा रहा था.
Okay.
And I was just in this cycle of मुझे पता है कि मैंने अब पोस्ट करना है, और मैं हफ्ते के शुरू में I just save a few memes and I'd know दिन के इतने इतने लगने, and it was just automatic at that point.
Okay.
कुछ हो गया तो उस वक्त बैठ के मीम्स बना रही यूनिवर्सिटी में, एंड यूनिवर्सिटी में गाड़ी में रास्ते में वापसी पे आई टॉक टू माय फॉलोअर्स और जस्ट इंटरेक्ट विद देम, घंटे का
Yeah.
रास्ता इस तरह करके.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice because I wasn't interacting with anybody who was a follower. It was later when like मैं जिम में हूँ और एक बंदा फोन पे सॉल्टिफा पे स्क्रॉल कर रहा है मेरे साइड पे, और मैं देख रहा हूँ क्या, और मैंने I see people wearing merch in public and I'm like, what? And then slowly I like realized, okay, this has genuinely gotten big because I was underselling it to myself for very long.
Okay.
But हाँ, it was a really weird thing क्योंकि मुझे बहुत देर लगी to understand कि it's actually a big thing now.
And do you think your interest was the same as it was at the start? Because ये जो तुम बता
Yeah,
रहे हो कि इतनी रूटीन वाला सीन है कि बस मीम सेव कर ली, लाइव्स हो रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. Were you still as personally invested in the thing?
yep, yep.
अच्छा.
क्योंकि यार I remember but I didn't have time because university was hard. Like that jump from A levels to university
Hmm.
was just studying all of the time. So the only time I had was when I was in the car going to or coming from uni. Or
Hmm.
tabhi I would like spend that hour doing stories or replying to people.
Okay.
Because that is truly what I like the most. When I go live a lot because I
Yeah,
love doing it.
that's a big
I
deal.
love
Yeah.
talking to people, and that's my favorite part of it. कि मैं
Hmm.
इन लोगों से बात करता हूँ और मुझे पता है कि they genuinely have a connection with me and I have a connection with them.
Hmm. So when you get famous, एक और बड़ी अच्छी बात ये भी होती है कि you get haters as well.
Yeah.
तो when did you start noticing कि अच्छा ये भी scene अब एक sizable volume बढ़ गया है of people who are like not on the sort of a train?
Yeah, I don't know यार. It was just the start and it was comments और comments में ये funny नहीं है, burger meme है, ठंडे memes. मेरे cousins आ रहे हैं पेशावर से हंसेंगे, पता नहीं क्या था. And it
अच्छा.
was really like affecting. शुरू में, you know, it affects you. And I was texting these people कि यार, just why are you hating me this much? I'm not doing anything to offend you. I'm posting the normiest memes possible because I don't want to offend anybody. Or I'm just trying to make somebody have a good time. That's the only goal I have. Why are you thinking of this in such a negative way?
Okay.
और मैं उनको लंबे लंबे पैराग्राफ लिखता था to try and explain ये मीम चोरी नहीं होता, ये आई एम जस्ट रीपोस्टिंग इट, आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स माइन, ये वो पता नहीं क्या क्या मैं उन्हें समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. एंड बट देन आई जस्ट फिगर्ड आउट, जिस तरह हर बंदा ऑब्वियसली करता है, कि आपका मसला नहीं है, उनको प्रॉब्लम है, उनका
Okay.
कोई इशू है.
Okay. Hmm. But the first time Dijing pushed us towards you was हमारी जब
हाँ.
शुरू में बातचीत हुई थी और and he was podcast पे आया था वो, तो he was saying stuff के bro उसका बहुत crazy scene है, memes, death threats वगैरह तक बात पहुंच गई है, ये हुआ है, वो हुआ है.
ये भी
What
हुआ.
sort of situation was that? How does a meme page start getting death threats?
I made fun of everything. I still make fun of everything. I have no biases. मुझे कोई
Okay.
चीज खुद भी पसंद है, I make fun of it.
Okay.
Because unfair होगा अगर मैं उस चीज का मजाक ना उड़ाऊं जो मुझे
Okay.
पसंद है. तो people start getting angry and not just like oh liberals offend हो रहे हैं इसके मीन से, या सिर्फ मैं थोड़ा लेफ्ट लीनिंग हूं तो राइट साइड offend हो रही है. I make fun of every single thing अभी भी.
Okay.
तो everybody was just angry sometimes कि इसने अब ये मीम बनाया, इसमें ये मसला है, ये मीम बनाया इसने. It just got crazy. And death threats वाला यार, people started, you know, when you see अच्छा इसको hate करना is getting a little cool और हम थोड़े special है, तो they started misconceiving what I was saying. And it was a meme about, I think रमजान में ही पोस्ट किया था. It was about नमाज and it was more relatable के वो एक कव्वा है और वो पेपर देख रहा है और वो कह रहा है अच्छा अब नहीं सूरा पढ़ता, और उसके दिमाग में सिर्फ कुल्लू अल्लाह अहद. और and they were like, how dare you make fun of Islam? I'm not making fun of Islam.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be relatable about not knowing any other surahs.
Yeah.
तो हाँ, उस पे फिर when religion gets involved, people get
In
very
Pakistan,
triggered about
that's the
stuff.
thing. Acha. And then when do you start interacting with people who you might be interested in the creator community?
I'll be honest, I was so out of touch with
Okay.
all of this. मैं अभी भी I don't watch creators उस तरह.
Hmm.
But when we started the podcast, that's when I started reaching out to people and I started watching other people to see कि क्या चल रहा है.
Hmm.
I think this was 2020. That's
Hmm.
when I invited Dijink onto the podcast. We had a really nice podcast जो कभी upload नहीं हुआ क्योंकि उसकी
Acha, I was
quality,
wondering.
हाँ उसकी quality बहुत बुरी थी, like lag and all of that, because it was one of my first podcasts. So yeah, but the podcasts were huge for me in terms of getting to talk to these people, understanding YouTube, understanding myself. Like I didn't want to monetize this. मुझे एक बहुत पता नहीं, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt unfair कि मैं इससे पैसे क्यों कमाऊंगा, मेरी intention तो नहीं है पैसे कमाने की, and I was
Okay.
turning down like sponsorships and stuff like that. Or and I had a podcast with Answer, I remember, and that was the turning point in my mindset कि I should earn money from this. And he told me कि bro, you'll have to quit this if you don't make money out of this. तुम्हें एक time पे eventually job start करना पड़ेगा, or and then you'll give this less time and it'll die out. And I was like, shit, he's right.
Mm.
And I would want to give this my full attention. And for that, it has to justify that time I've given it
Right.
by compensating for it in
Okay.
monetary terms. Because eventually I will need money. Abhi beshak, I don't spend a lot, but
Right. When does the sponsorship, what sort of sponsorships have you done?
we've done some really cool sponsorships here. I think शुरू में जब ये हुआ ना, so I just started doing this thing because मेरा पता नहीं क्या मसला है. I brute force shit. मैं करता जाता हूँ जब तक ना हो. तो मैं
Okay.
दिन के 100 messages लिखता था, like to brands, to people के we should work together because XYZ ये मेरा demographic है. I'm this good at what I do. Engagement बहुत अच्छी है. और पहला person who responded was Johnny Jugnu. That was
Okay.
our first cool collaboration. And it was very poetic क्योंकि you know how people write Saltafa on walls and stuff. That started off at Johnny Jugnu की branch का pillar. So
Acha.
I thought it was just poetic in that way. उस
Hmm.
वक्त I was doing like a cooking show thingy, and Johnny Jugnu sent me their survival kit box. Pandemic शुरू हुआ था, so I made a video on that. So it was really cool. That's how it started out.
Hmm. How many things were you doing with the Salt of a brand?
I
Like, how
had the
many
main page.
different ideas were
Uh-huh.
there?
I had the main page, which was memes and lives and all of the normal stuff. And then the Sugar Afa wala page turned into more of I'm making video series and original content and stuff like that. तो उसमें cooking show था, पता नहीं अजीब अजीब चीजें बीच में बहुत की थी. Food reviews, जगह reviews, and then the podcast was going on तब, and हाँ तब इतना ही था. Esports उस वक्त के around शुरू किया था.
Hmm. And why were you getting into these things? Was it like more like a business opportunity, something you were interested in?
It was what I was interested in, and also वही कि I wanted to solidify it. I didn't want it to just be taken away from me. I didn't want it to be एक page और वो बस गया, सारा काम जाया.
Hmm.
That was a really big motivator in me trying different things. Esports, I knew there was an opportunity in Pakistan,
Hmm.
and it was an untapped market. There was no proper esports organization.
Hmm.
तो बस तब वो शुरू किया, and but it didn't. It takes time to form a team that would be willing to spend the same amount of effort and time on it as I would, because I couldn't properly invest my time into it because I didn't get it.
And then what happens? Let's fast forward to the bit where इतनी दफा तुम mention कर चुके हो कि you didn't just want the page to be taken away or मेहनत जाया और ये वो. But then one day suddenly we wake up to the now I know you in this part of the story.
Yeah.
We're like अच्छा salt of a boy है, अच्छा ठीक है. शायद I don't know if Clubhouse had become a thing by then.
It had a
It
bit
had.
before that, huh?
अच्छा. तो and then one day you wake up and पता चला कि जी पेज चला गया. तो
Huh.
what was that situation?
Oh, it was horrible, yeah. Um, I don't know why there were no warnings. We hadn't had any reported posts. Normally, आपको 5-6 warnings मिलती हैं तो पेज जाता है. तो कोई warnings नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, but it's gone. लेकिन वही बात है कि I dealt with it better than I did with the football thing. It took
Okay.
me a year to properly get my wits after the football wali cheese. And this was very similar to me. And I think the football thing instilled this fear in my sir that you'll work for something for very long and then it'll just go away because of something you can't control.
Hmm.
तो मेरे दिमाग में बस वो था हर वक्त जब से I started putting my energy into Saltafa कि this could just fuck up.
Hmm.
That's life.
Hmm.
So I was a bit mentally prepared for it कि अगर हुआ, और जैसे ही हुआ I instantly, instead of like just cowering away and being like oh मेरी जिंदगी I like started posting on Twitter and on my backup pages कि this has happened. So if you do follow me there, try and find me again. And alhamdulillah it went well, yeah. We ended up gaining most of our audience back.
Hmm.
It's not all of it or half of it. लेकिन I found value in the fact that we still have insane engagement.
Okay.
And I think जो मेरे actual followers या community थी वो lose दी हुई मेरे से. So that is the part where I'm happy because I didn't care about the numbers anyway. I just didn't want to lose that community. तो वो अभी तक है, alhamdulillah. So I think that
Did you
should help
really
me
not
recover.
care? Because the numbers for many people mean money, and
Yeah,
एकदम से उड़ जाए वो, so that's like your income,
I
like.
lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of contracts. Definitely.
अच्छा.
लेकिन वही it hit me कि eh, it's about posting about social issues.
अच्छा.
I do that on my own. मुझे कोई फोर्स नहीं कर सकता किसी चीज पे बात करने के लिए. कोशिश करते हैं लोग, लेकिन I'll talk about what I want to. As an influencer, I'm not obligated to talk about anything. If I choose to do it, वो मेरी मर्जी है.
Right.
I'm not a news source.
Right.
मेरी मर्जी है जिस मर्जी की चीज पे बात करूं. But I was talking about an issue, but I was also getting a lot of messages कि why aren't you talking about X issue more? Why
इरफान
aren't you
जुनेजो ने
doing
कश्मीर पे वीडियो क्यों नहीं बनाई? This is my favorite meme of the woke woke haters.
बट हाँ, इमेजिन इरफान भाई वीडियो बनाते और वो वीडियो रिपोर्ट होती और उनका पेज
Yeah.
वाज टेकन डाउन. Would these people react as strongly then?
Yeah.
फिर when it got taken down, the same people who were like, Saltafa isn't posting enough about X issue. Why is he like this? He problematic. And I was posting about it, which pissed me off even zyada. But then when my page was taken down, they didn't even try and like, oh, he was posting about it. He was with our cause, so we should help him out. Then they started saying his page is taken down because ये इसने इसका content चोरी किया था इस बंदे का. नहीं, the memes would not exist. A page with 20 million followers, which literally just reposts other people's stuff, would not exist. I make more original content than those pages. मुझे पता है. तो हाँ, but it's just odd कि that was really like weird for me कि
Did you
अच्छा
find
लोग
out
जो किए
eventually?
हैं.
Did you find out eventually why the page was taken down?
Yeah, it was. I talked to someone in the Pakistan IT thing, जो
Okay.
in brand like Facebook वगैरह से करता है. And I showed him everything. I said no reports. सारा उसने check किया, and he said probably वही reason है जो मुझे लग रहा था. Because the complaint was I was impersonating an organization or company.
Okay.
So some big company probably just said कि ये page नहीं अब होना चाहिए, which
Oh.
doesn't make sense because I wasn't impersonating anything.
Okay.
So yeah.
That doesn't sound like a satisfactory reason.
Yeah, it sucked, but वो क्या कर सकता हूँ? I'm still trying, but पता नहीं. I
Because initially
don't
you
keep my
posted
hopes
ना
up
कि
about it.
you could send in an appeal after 30 days, ये वो वगैरह.
हाँ,
Did that lead to anything? Yeah, nothing.
I sent an appeal every day for those 30 days. I sent 2 appeals a day. लेकिन नहीं आया, तो मैं क्या कर सकता
I don't
इसके
say
बारे
कोई
में.
जवाब भी नहीं आया. No clarity, nothing.
No proper clarity. I didn't get why. I still don't get why, but I think I know the reason.
और वो,
खैर,
is it यही the company वाला, or is there some other reason that you don't want to talk about?
yeah, that's what Instagram told me. Okay,
अच्छा.
I was impersonating another company or organization.
Okay.
Okay, it was a fake account जो 5 साल से apparently चल रही है.
That's weird. Okay. Now there's two directions. Okay, let's go in one of the directions. Where the first direction we'll go in is the criticisms of Saltafa wala direction, which I'm
So
interested in having you on to talk about. Because up until the point where we spoke on Clubhouse, जो मेरा जरा grown up woke crowd circle जो है, they are or were or still aren't fans of yours. ठीक है.
हाँ, सही है.
उसमें there's like two types of things. One is वही content, ये तो कोई मेहनत ही नहीं हुई और memes copy कर रहा है और ये वो, making an audience off the back of किसी और की मेहनत.
सही.
And then so how do you feel about that, like generally, because that was a big portion of the work you did, was posting reposting memes, which is, I personally think, not a real issue. considering
It's not.
that's how the meme economy really works.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, there are some people go like a step beyond, कि अच्छा ये credit दे दिया हमने इसको, but mostly that's
हाँ,
impossible to do because you never know कि चीज आई किधर से.
exactly. हाँ.
But how did you feel about this sort of criticism?
Yeah, it felt weird because it's not all I do.
Hmm.
I I put a lot of effort into stories and stuff like that where the audience actually feels like they're getting more value out of it. I used
Okay.
to do weekly polls, weekly questions, I mean, just cool activities for people to have fun with.
Hmm.
वो अलग छोड़े, वो 100 स्टोरीज जो हफ्ते की या 200 स्टोरीज होती थी वो अलग, लेकिन I also made original content. There wasn't, I told you I didn't start growing till I made my own content.
Right.
And I don't think anybody can grow till they make their own content. Because why would people follow me? It's just stupid to follow me. Then. They would just follow the page I'm taking it from. Right? But it does make sense, and I understand it as well because मेरा बहुत ज़्यादा stuff चोरी हुआ हुआ है.
Okay.
There's a lot of memes I made that were taken in by bigger pages and they don't even respond to me. इसलिए I try my best कि जब भी मैं credits दे सकूं मैं देता हूँ. I
Okay.
spend a good amount of time trying to find the person. और अगर मैं कुछ post करता हूँ जिससे मुझे credits नहीं मिल रहे होते, तो I keep looking at my DMs कि अभी मुझे message आएगा कि ये मेरा post है, आप please credits दे दो. But it's, as you said, impossible. And if you do look up the word meme, उसकी definition ही ये है कि something that is reposted or with slight changes or ये या virality या spread हो, तो the word meme means to repost or to just share stuff. ये notion पाकिस्तान में है एक कि originally होना चाहिए. I can't consistently make original content that is at a good level. So I use other people's जो अच्छा चीज बना रहे हैं वो भी मैं पोस्ट करता हूँ और मैं अपना भी करता हूँ. It's a mix of it. I don't know if it justifies it या जो भी, but वही I look at pages like I don't memes are puberty, halal chasm. These pages have 1 million followers. इनके अपना कंटेंट भी नहीं होता. ब्रिटिश पेजेस आप देखो वो तो और भी खराब हैं. It's just bait. वो पता क्या करते हैं, वो अपना वाटरमार्क भी लगा देते हैं चीज पे.
अच्छा, किसी और के उस पे.
हाँ, ट्वीट्स पे वाटरमार्क लगाया होता है यार उन्होंने. तो आई डोंट डू दैट बिकॉज आई थिंक मेरा नहीं है तो मुझे नहीं लगाना चाहिए. But I've had that debate as well. Should I? Because all of these big pages are doing it. ये तो credit भी नहीं दे रहा, इसके तो 3 million followers हैं. It's a weird place to be in. But personally, I know I try my best to do justice by people अगर मैं उनका content लगा रहा हूँ.
Okay.
It feels unfair to me because I don't see other pages getting the same criticism. I don't see tweets about other pages which are on the same lines who are doing the same thing I'm doing and in a worse way. तो पता नहीं. It just feels a bit. I feel like it's because I have a person to me instead of just a page. So they feel like it's easier to reach out to me or to criticize me.
Right. There's a real target.
So, I feel like that probably drives it.
Okay. Do you feel and do you feel like the original content that you make, which is the lives, the stories, the apni videos, podcasts, whatever, which I'm sure gets like real engagement, which is why we're growing at such a exponential pace. Do you feel that is like deliberately ignored by these people who will be like,
I think उनको शायद पता नहीं यार. I don't think they have agendas against me. Some people may, but I feel like शायद genuinely आप देखो पेज को at a glance तो आपको यही लगेगा कि ये तो हर जगह यही होता है. तो I don't think they have agendas against me. I think वो बस genuinely पेज खोलते हैं, उनको पता नहीं चलता कि मेरा मीम कौन सा और दूसरा मीम कौन सा है. But it's a weird criticism as well because people get mad at me. अपनी tweets क्यों लगाते हो? मैं दूसरों की लगाऊं आपको मसला, मैं अपनी लगाऊं मतलब.
there's a
I
lot
don't
of
get it.
accounts now that are doing like their tweets on Instagram. But acha, so do you make like a distinction? Okay, this meme is like yours and this is like reposted in the caption or something?
Not in the caption. I add my watermark to memes I make myself. और अगर किसी और का meme हो तो I try my best to credit them if I can. ज़्यादातर नहीं हो सकता, but as much as I can, whenever people reach out to me, I do respond and fix it.
Right. How do you feel about this meme sharing aspect of your content creation going forward? Is it something that you're like, this is like going to be a part of the page?
Man, I love doing it.
Acha.
I love making memes. I think it's the best way to, you know, make someone laugh.
No, not making
It's a
memes.
really,
Resharing.
acha. I don't know. I feel like it's unfair to hold me to a standard of just जो आप बड़े pages को भी नहीं कर रहे, जो
Sure,
literally इससे millions कमा रहे हैं.
sure.
And they're making it just making memes, no original content with it. They're just reposting stuff, and they're getting deals with literal movie studios. तो मुझे लगता है वो criticism unfair है. चलो पाकिस्तान में ये culture है अजीब सा,
Huh.
लेकिन ठीक है, क्या कर सकता हूँ. But
No,
I
but how
think
do you feel like personally about it? Like, fuck what people
यार
are saying.
आई पर्सनली नो कि जो लोगों के मीम्स मैं ज्यादातर लगा रहा होता हूँ वो मुझे मैसेज करके भेज रहे होते हैं कि ये लगाओ.
अच्छा.
उनको पता है कि उनके पेज की ग्रोथ होगी अगर मैं लगा रहा हूँ. आई नो अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ पीपल हु हैव ओवर 100,000 फॉलोअर्स जो शुरू में मुझे भेज के मेरे से चीजें लगवाते थे ताकि उनके पेज की ग्रोथ हो. तो आई नो पीपल गेट वैल्यू आउट ऑफ इट एज वेल. इट्स नॉट लाइक बिकॉज पीपल डिस्कवर अदर पीपल थ्रू मी.
Hmm.
तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स जस्ट ओ ये चोरी कर रहा है बिकॉज यू डोंट रियलाइज अदर टाइम वो बंदे ने मुझे कहा होता है लगाने के लिए.
Okay.
And they benefit a lot out of it.
Hmm.
But हाँ, I feel like I'm going to continue to do it.
Okay.
Uh, because it helps lower the burden on me कि
Okay.
मुझे इतने ज्यादा originals नहीं बनाने. um,
What's the
but फिर भी
burden?
like when to make memes it takes time. It takes thinking कि अच्छा इस angle से जाऊं या how does it just become more relatable to people.
Right.
um,
So
if
why
I'm
not just
going
make?
from
Why not
हाँ
just have fewer? Like, because I'm thinking in terms of like the criticizing people, who'd be like,
हाँ
"हाँ, bro, यही मेहनत तो होती है और फिर कम post करो, take the hit."
यार Ali bhai, I remember I did that for a bit as well, and the criticism continued. So
Sure.
I understood कि लोगों ने तो खुश होना नहीं है जो भी मैं कर लूं. Um, और बस I'm at terms with it now. Okay, people will have issues with it, and I
But there
don't
is
care
also like
because
there's a frequency of posting that you're aiming for that you think is important, and an integral
yeah,
part of maintaining that frequency is reposting
yeah,
memes. Acha.
it's
ठीक है.
not even frequency. It's maybe like quality because I can't always make the best thing.
Right.
I definitely can't. तो अगर किसी और का मेरे से ज्यादा फनी चीज है तो मैं वो क्यों ना शेयर करूं बिकॉज माय गोल इज जस्ट टू शो माय ऑडियंस द बेस्ट थिंग आई फाइंड ऑफ
Right.
वैल्यू.
Sure.
तो
Sure.
हाँ
Okay. हाँ नहीं, I mean another example of this is like literally like America's funniest videos, where people would send
हाँ
videos कि उनके घर में ये हो गया and now it's playing on a channel and
हाँ
people are buying ad time and there are precedents for it. वही है कि how far are you willing to go, to make the effort to give credit and try and do like बिल्कुल ही exploit
हाँ
ना करो. अच्छा. The
हाँ
other criticism angle is from the more politically aware, politically correct kind of people, and
yeah
uska that angle is ke now I don't know how you feel about this or if your feelings have changed over time, but वो ये है कि this guy is just offensive for the sake of being offensive. अब ये religion का मजाक उड़ा लेगा, he's gonna इस तरह की बातें where people who जब भी मैंने बात हुई है ना about bringing Saltafa, they're like यार ये तो मतलब shady content है that I would not be associated with, etc, etc.
I get it.
uh, do you feel there's any truth or any validity to that sort of feeling in others?
No, I don't know यार. I try my best. I genuinely try my best to not offend anybody.
Okay.
For example अगर मैं कराची पे मीम बना रहा हूँ तो मैं लाहौर पे भी उसी वक्त मीम बनाता हूँ
Okay.
कि और अगर मैं लाहौर पे बना रहा हूँ तो मैं इस्लामाबाद like I try and balance it out but obviously there's some aspects to humor which will end up inevitably offending someone. It's not my intention.
Sure.
गलती से होता है ज्यादातर. जो
Okay.
outrage होता है वो हमेशा गलती से होता है.
Mm.
मेरी इंटेंशन नहीं होती कि कोई बंदा इससे हर्ट हो या कोई मूवमेंट मतलब for any way for it to be
Mm.
offensive. I'm not into that. I don't follow trends. which I think are गलत. मुझे उसमें कुछ भी गलत लगता है. I don't do it for likes or views or comments or anything of that sort. I
Okay.
avoid everything that मुझे personally गलत लगती है.
Hmm.
Everybody messes up. It's not intentional. It's not जान के being edgy to get people to do it.
Yeah.
अब वही तो it's look, these people say I'm too edgy, and then the meme community says I'm too normie. कि तुम बहुत हाहा फनी वाली मीम्स बनाते हो कि जिनमें जोक होता भी नहीं है. उनके लिए जोक होता है कि you go past the line.
Yeah.
So there's pages who hate me for that, and then there's people at the same time who think I'm too edgy. So who's right?
Hmm. I mean, वो इसमें तो obviously you have to find your own moral center, and
Definitely.
उसमें फिर ये है कि but the sort of thing I was thinking was कि it can't be that सारे criticize करने वाले just don't get the joke. Then we're edging into like Shazad Qiyas sort of territory कि अगर आपको मेरा joke पसंद नहीं आया तो आपको comedy के बारे में नहीं पता.
No, I don't say that.
That sort of thing. So do you,
I've messed up, definitely. I've messed up.
and
I
also
made.
another
Uh,
consideration I'm offering for your defense, which I don't think you want, is K, when you started this, you were younger than you are now. It's been what, three,
yeah.
4 years, and there's things that trends that you find that you're like, huh, ye good hai. But then aista maybe you see some other angles and you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't as good a decision.
That happens. वही मैं
That
कह रहा हूँ कि I make mistakes, but it's not intentional. जिस तरह लोग कहते हैं कि he's doing it for likes. It's not intentional. When I posted, I have nothing in mind except, oh, this made me kind of chuckle.
okay.
फिर लोग आजकल जो जमाना है, they find other angles to it. कि why it's not okay.
Something you didn't think of at all initially.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. इस तरह and there's a few instances where I hate saying this, but there's stuff that people say about me which just isn't true, but it's just itna widespread that people think it is.
Okay.
मेरी intention कभी भी गलत नहीं होती,
Okay.
which is what gives me a sort of semblance. And I have this small group of friends I refer to. जब भी कुछ इस तरह का होता है मैं अपने दोस्तों से पूछता हूँ कि is this wrong? Did I mess up? What do you think I messed up? Or is this being taken out of context?
Have they ever said yes?
Yeah.
Acha. And then what do you do? Do you like take down a meme or issue a
I take down the post. I take down the post. I apologize. I do something counterintuitive. मतलब अगर उस चीज का एक impact था, for example, it took an angle जिसमें fat shaming हो रही है, तो I'll post a body positivity post, a few of those over the next week to try and tell people कि ये गलत बात, मैंने गलत चीज की.
Okay.
And I apologize on my stories always. I take accountability. But वही होता है कि अक्सर लोग वो चीज देखते नहीं है.
Yeah.
So they just think oh, he's irreverent about it. No, I mess up. Everybody messes up. But it's not my intention to be like that. No.
Okay. So do you feel also that the thing is that your own morality, everybody's morality and their intentions are limited by the amount of information they have. Okay. And which might sound like an excuse, but it is also the truth. कि अगर आपको किसी बारे में नहीं पता, तो आपको नहीं पता. And you can't always be. Do you find yourself in a situation which is not in a practical situation, where you're always अच्छा इसके बारे में अगर किसी ने ऐसा सोचा वैसे सोचा, what's politically correct, but like politically correct maybe there's like 8,000 opinions. Have you ever thought about that beforehand कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे, or you're like yeah, I think this is fine and we'll see?
I do now, because it's hurtful how people attack you after they find offense in something.
Okay.
I don't always. जब भी यूं होता है, I have this principle. I use it in real life. Whenever somebody says I'm wrong, I remove all personal thought from it.
Achha.
And I just think of it objectively.
Okay.
And then I think of what I think, and then I उन दोनों की लड़ाई कराता हूँ, दोनों notions की.
Okay.
To try and figure out what I think is better or what makes more sense. because I think हम as human beings we have this problem because of polarization कि जब भी हमें कोई नई information आती है हम we go to reject it, we get defensive about it, we
Or
instantly go नहीं.
alternatively, we fully accept it and we think अच्छा everything we knew was wrong. और अपनी position हम शायद
लोग
बिल्कुल ही
करते हैं,
बदल लेते हैं. Yeah.
लोग करते हैं, and that's okay as well because you can be completely wrong. I've done it
Okay.
multiple times, लेकिन I don't want to not accept new information क्योंकि then I'll be complacent, then I'll start being a very weird person who thinks too highly of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
तो वही होता है, अटेम्प्ट होता है कि take that information in, don't try and fight it, then consider it, then compare it to what you already know, and maybe do a few Google searches on it. Try to learn all these fancy words they're using to try and make sense of it. तो फिर वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स के बारे में पढ़ता हूँ, उनको बेहतर समझता हूँ, क्यों ये चीज प्रॉब्लमैटिक थी या क्यों ये चीज सही नहीं है, क्यों ये इनको इतना गुस्सा चढ़ रहा है, क्योंकि मेरे दिमाग में तो ये कुछ भी नहीं था. And then I get, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of this will answer any of the haters, because like there is a certain segment of people, and there's like many people we know. हमारा opinion is like हम idiot थोड़ी हैं जो हमें ये लगता है, but I felt इनिशियली ना जब डिजिंग ने कहा था कि ब्रो इस बॉय को चेक करो, और उस वक्त डिजिंग भी ना बड़े अपने टेरर वाले फेज में चल रहा था, as he liked to call it. And I immediately felt this will be news to Dijing if he watches this. I felt, yeah, I'm just too old for this whole enthusiasm कि let's go and flame someone या terror फैलाते हैं और ये करते हैं, because I've been on the internet for like a long time now, and before there was Twitter, before there was Facebook, Orkut और ये वो सारी चीजें, and I've gone through these phases myself कि हाँ होगा फटा करूंगा मैं किसी से जाके, और ले लेंगे किसी की जाके, we'll just give him ऐसे जबरदस्त जवाबात, और then they will see my point of view. And then but initially when he was like हाँ bro देखो उसको death threats आई हैं और इस terror फैला रहा है and ये वो, this is I think last year की बात है, तो उस वो even if I hadn't known of the page, just because of that information I'd be like अच्छा I'm not interested, because like I'm just not interested in that vibe. And then that sort of continued. Beach mein some other people were like अच्छा यार ये तो सिर्फ meme चोरी वाला page है, and some लोग यार ये तो बहुत offensive type page है. And I was like चलो ठीक है whatever. I mean मैं follow नहीं कर रहा इसको, तो it's not gonna hurt his life. He's clearly doing really well. And अपने दिमाग में मैंने ना इसको rationalize कर दिया, हाँ यार ये सारे बच्चे हैं, इनको क्या पता, I mean they'll grow out of it. You and your supporters सबको मैंने एक अच्छे से box में डाल दिया. But the difference was then this weird pivotal thing that has happened in Pakistan ka creative scene amongst a very few people was अभी 2-3 महीने पहले जो Clubhouse पे बातचीत शुरू हुई, and which also stopped for me anyway. But एक peak आया था जब Clubhouse नया था, when invites were a thing. And then I spoke to you, and and I heard you talk about other people and talk to people. I was like, oh yeah, ये बंदा तो he seems alright. He seems normal. Like this, the vibe on Clubhouse was very different to the image that had been built, thanks to others. Because like I never really investigated your page, because I was like, यार
as
होगा
most
यार.
people don't.
हाँ, I followed your page and then I unfollowed you because I was like, यार ये बहुत post करता है. My complaint wasn't the.
That was an issue शुरू में. People didn't follow me. जो मैंने बताया ना, people knew of me but didn't follow me. That was because I posted too much.
I was like, यार मतलब I posted some. I think maybe Momina or someone had mentioned maybe. And I was like, ठीक है Saltafa follow कर लेना. I was like, my whole feed is now Saltafa. I was like, भाई, because Instagram also has stopped showing things chronologically. वो recommendation पे ज़्यादा focus आ गया. And Instagram Saltafa को follow किया ये लोग ने, ass मेरे लोग ने, तुम Saltafa नो इतना सारा था. I was like, bro, I can't deal with this. तो खैर. But then I heard your podcast before Clubhouse with Alina. That was a good podcast. फिर Clubhouse के बाद I heard I've forgotten her name. Dananir. That was also interesting. I found her also very interesting. But
that's nice.
Yeah. तो उसके बाद फिर जब Clubhouse के बाद I think I was like नहीं, maybe there seems to be a vibe that does not translate as easily perhaps to people of my age, yeah, our sort of worldview. what happens then? Because we keep it. I try and keep it pretty tight because I think nobody pays attention to these podcasts. Um, what is happening now that you have your page back? Give me that rundown of the pages that you gave me on WhatsApp. Like, kya chal raha hai, what the purpose of those pages is, and like, वही uncle वाला सवाल, because I am an uncle. Plan क्या है?
Your plan is to पहले तो मैं बता देता हूँ. There's the main page Saltafa. It focuses on memes.
Yeah.
It focuses on, so basically the goal is 10 original memes and 10 क्या कहते हैं reposted memes. Original memes are spread throughout
A
the
day?
week, per day mostly. लेकिन अब
20
कम
a
हो गया
day?
जब से, yeah.
Oh God.
So
मैं
it
नहीं
ends
करता
up
follow.
being roughly it ends up being 100 a week, 90 to
Okay.
100 a week.
Okay.
तो वो गोल होता है फॉर द वीक, बट उसमें से इट्स मोस्टली 40 ओरिजिनल्स एंड 60 पोस्टेड. इस तरह की रेशो होती है. अगर कोई इवेंट हो जाए तो फिर ओरिजिनल्स बढ़ जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल जब ब्लैकआउट हुआ था, जब इस तरह कुछ होता है तो मैं कहता हूँ अब टाइम है मेरा.
Yeah.
So then I
Yeah.
make up for the lack of original memes.
Okay.
And I know people value them because they always do better than the reposted ones, but I
Okay.
need the reposted ones to keep
Yeah.
constantly posting. और हाँ, मेन पेज पे ये हो रहा है. Then there's Sugaraffa. That's more of a like a private account. It's just pictures of me and stuff like that. Um, हाँ, it's just because main page पे I can't be me.
Right.
There's
Sure.
people who follow me for the memes and not for me. और ओरिजिनली तो मसला ये हुआ था कि बंदे बहुत ज्यादा हो गए थे मेन पेज पे, जिसकी वजह से टॉक्सिकनेस बढ़ गई थी. तो मेरा बैकअप प्राइवेट था, उस पर मैं लाइव्स करता था अकेले. कम लोग होते थे, बेहतर होता था. आई डोंट लाइक द लाइव्स ऑन द मेन विद 600-700 पीपल, जिसमें फिर वो अजीब अजीब लोग भी आ जाते. तो बैकअप पे आई वाज वेरी सिलेक्टिव अबाउट हु आई एडेड. इट वाज जस्ट माय वे ऑफ हैविंग अ बेटर कनेक्शन विद माय ऑडियंस. तो उस पे अपनी ओरिजिनल सीरीज वगैरह और इस तरह की चीजें आई डू. And then there's esports. Salt esports, we're the best Valorant team in Pakistan. We're doing amazingly. Usme we're the best FIFA team. Asia mein we're the best. Not even in Pakistan. FIFA and Valorant, we're doing great in those.
Really?
और हाँ, we're doing amazingly in those. ये जो जज्बा कप हो रहा है, we've been finalists multiple times. We've won it. So it's just, that's been a journey.
Do you also
And
play in these
learning.
teams?
नहीं, I don't. I'm not as good.
Right.
इन लोगों की सैलरीज होती है भाई. They're professional athletes
What are you
with
doing? You're like
training
a
schedules.
sponsor?
No, it's my team. I started it.
Okay.
We have sponsors जिनके थ्रू हम सैलरीज देते हैं, और फिर जो विनिंग्स में से हमारी छोटी सी परसेंटेज होती है उसमें वो सारा करके सैलरीज वगैरह बनती
So
हैं.
you're
और वो
what?
सारा होता है.
Your management?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Essentially, जिस तरह लाहौर के अंदर से उन्होंने प्लेयर्स खरीदे हैं, उस तरह
Yeah.
हमने, लेकिन
Yeah.
हमने अलग अलग स्पोर्ट्स के लिए. So that's esports, and I just started Saltafa Nation, which I did because I love to try and highlight issues I feel are important. But मेरा पिछला page got shadow banned for it, then taken down for it. So I thought maybe if we can't compartmentalize, because that would help. खाली story पे share कर रहा हूँ, so that will help out. And I also want to do this thing where, so I have this I don't know if it's a problem, but Answer called it a problem, where I donate too much of my income.
Okay.
तो उस वक्त भी I was donating like, जो मेरे पैसे है उनसे जो मर्ज बन गया, जो बाकी बच गए वो डोनेट कर to causes I felt strongly about. तो for Nation, what I want to do is कि I want to have its own stream of income, whether it be merchandise or however we figure it out, and then to use that for legal support for issues we post about, because I don't like just posting about stuff. I want to do something like in actuality to help that cause out as well.
Okay.
So if it's like a case where they need legal support, we have a legal team which will help them. If they need funds for because something bad has happened, we help them with that. So stuff like that. I want it to be this really nice thing which can generally have real life impact on people's Muslim lives. And then there's the merch page, which is just a merch page. उसमें भी we've compartmentalized, so we make masks जो COVID वाले होते हैं. So those are for charity. मेरे जो पैसे लगते हैं उनमें और जो लोगों की तरफ से आते हैं वो सारे चैरिटी पे। बट इट्स लाइक ये वाला मास्क लोगे तो ये चैरिटी को जा रहे हैं, ये
Oh,
वाला मास्क
nice.
लोगे तो ये चैरिटी।
Okay.
तो
Okay.
वो इस तरह करके उसका सीन है।
Hmm.
तो हाँ, आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल ऑफ देम।
Uh, all of these are on Instagram.
Yeah, these are on Instagram. Then there's the Facebook, the YouTube.
Hmm.
There's a clips channel which I'm not as active on right now. The main channel, and I'm starting a podcast channel.
Right.
So wo, and then Twitter, TikTok,
अच्छा,
and
TikTok भी है.
Facebook.
तो
हाँ.
after your experience with like at least 2 pages getting taken down by Instagram, ये एक जरा side
जी.
सवाल है. How do you feel about these platforms? Like, you know, there's that everyone thinks about this hypothetical risk कि यार कुछ पता नहीं किसी दिन इनका मूड बदल जाए और पेज टेक डाउन हो जाए. That's happened to you twice.
Yeah.
तो
Thrice.
thrice. So does
Yeah.
that mean that, you know, you're like maybe the only solution is like saltafa.com or something?
I have that as well.
Of course you do.
Because merch sales or उसके लिए I made the website and it just felt like, and I tried to have like a form on it
Okay.
कि उधर ही interact करने सारे, but it was too expensive for me to run.
Okay.
So I ended up being okay with being on Instagram. And obviously you don't know about these pages, these platforms, maybe YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah.
The algorithm changes, you get shadow banned, आपकी reach जो पहले ठीक आ रही थी वो एकदम से बिल्कुल मर जाती है.
Okay.
And it's weird and you can't predict it, but the other aspect is just too valuable to me. The aspect where I know I can positively impact someone's day or life, which is the goal,
Okay.
which is the intention since day one. Not day one, but जो भी. But हाँ, तो that's just too valuable to me कि वो जो possible change मैं कर सकता हूँ किसी के लिए, that feels like it's worth it.
Okay. Because everybody is on these platforms. That's where the audience is already.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you feel about ये वाली बात, लेकिन the positive impact and the change to people's lives? How do you feel that's been throughout your
It's
career?
it's happening. I know it. When people text me, I can tell. There's voice notes people send me or उनकी आवाज से I know they're not lying. They wouldn't go through that effort. Maybe some people might, लेकिन जब किसी की आप आवाज सुनते हो तो आपको पता चल जाता है कि शायद सच में इनके लिए इतना ही मायने रखती है ये चीज. तो people have, like, what I've understood is it does have that impact on people where it helps them out of a tough place, or maybe a podcast, maybe something I said, a story, a YouTube video. So I know what happens, and that's what I hold on to.
Okay.
I hold on to those messages really, really tight. Because I want to quit a lot. I don't like getting hate. I don't like making people feel bad. There was a point where काफी ज्यादा hatred आ रही थी और मैं बस ये सोच रहा था कि यार ये मेरा goal नहीं था. I don't want to make these people feel bad. I don't want them to be this angry at me, and maybe I am इतना बुरा कि ये इस तरह feel कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
लेकिन फिर जब लोगों को पता चला कि I'm probably going to stop, then the people, your biggest supporters stay silent ज़्यादातर. They just silently follow you, interact. Then they started like telling me कि no dude, don't stop, because इस वक्त पे मेरे साथ ये हो रहा था, and I would literally just scroll through your page all day because it was better. I would literally just listen to your podcasts or videos, and तब like I understood, okay, maybe the hate's just more vocal. and maybe, and I'm trying to be better because probably I do mess up, yeah, everybody does, but I just hold on to those messages. वो मेरे दिमाग में बस बजते जाते हैं जब भी मैं कहता हूँ ना मैंने नहीं करना, मैं कुछ और करना है, I didn't sign up to be going through this सब कुछ. तो बस वो लफ्ज आते हैं दिमाग में कि I was about to do X thing and then you stopped me from it because I realized ये भी है true a thing you posted, or I laughed and I thought there's more meaning to life. So those things they're powerful, and they make dealing with the hatred and all of that worth it.
It's a weird situation to be in, especially without really, you have no training for this sort of wide-scale human interaction. Isme, there's obviously, because all I can think of is like risk first, there is the risk where you're like, you become a savior and like, bro, without me,
I
इतने
had
सारे
I had that problem.
yeah, savior complex हो जाता
I'm
है.
I'm better at it now. There was this Quranic ayat that really helped me with it, and I was talking to Kazi bhai about this. और मैंने उनको ये आयत कोट किया और उन्होंने कहा मुझे भी इसी आयत ने बचाया. मैंने कहा यार, that is so cool.
Okay.
And it's basically, I think it's 9109. I'm not sure about the ayat number, but it says to the Prophet, "Ke O Muhammad." Uh, Basically, the Prophet was trying to convert somebody. As far as I know, that don't quote me on. I'm paraphrasing. So it said,
आ रहे
it's
haters.
K type,
जूते पहन लिए इन्होंने.
but it was essentially K. O Muhammad, your job is only to convey the message. It is not to make them Muslim. अगर मैं विल करता तो मैं इनको मुसलमान खुद बना देता या इनको पैदा ही मुसलमान करता. तो दैट इज नॉट योर बर्डन इज टू इन्फॉर्म देम. उसके बाद उनकी स्ट्रगल और उनकी बैटल है. तो तब आई अंडरस्टूड कि मेरा काम नहीं है किसी को ठीक करना. और एंड आई अंडरस्टूड व्हाई some of the stuff we do is wrong. It's not our job to fix anybody. It's just to inform them कि आप गलत कर रहे हो.
Yeah.
जो मुझे लगता है हम गलत तरीके से करते हैं.
On your behalf, I will add a disclaimer here. K. Saltafa here is not equating his work with the work of spreading the religion. He's just using it as an analogy. Neither is Qazi. So yeah, ठीक है. I mean, as long as you or someone or people around you are there to keep you in check, ke matlab, you're not ruining the world, but neither are you saving it. You're just trying to do good things, and you genuinely try and do, ना कि मैं एहसान कर रहा हूँ मैं पाकिस्तान पे ये memes डाल के.
नहीं.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that place. Why do you not want this to be your job? Like, why don't you just be sort of a, like, this is my industry, ye wo. Do you actively not want that, or if that happens, would you be okay?
If that happens, I would be okay with it because I've been doing it for so long. But for the longest time, I did not want to continue to do this because of how people perceive it. And वही लोगों का एक notion बन जाता है आपके बारे में, which is hurtful.
Okay.
Especially when you don't intend to be it like that. People can be very rude. Obviously, I was a kid. I still am. But लोग जिस तरह आपको ठीक करने की कोशिश करते हैं वो सही नहीं होती. I've realized क्योंकि it's not, they never say you did this wrong. It's kill yourself or stop existing, delete your, I don't know, it's just so rude.
Yeah.
And you end up thinking कि मैं इतना बुरा हूँ. But I've gotten better at dealing with that, alhamdulillah. But देखते हैं if I continue to do it. If not, khair.
Okay, that's a very sad place to end. So, last minute switch up. Mandatory sawal for this show. Do you have any jinn stories?
I do not, sadly.
Okay, chalo theek hai. That's fine. I think it's
I
more
haven't
normal.
interacted with jinns. हाँ, नहीं मेरा शुक्र है कुछ ऐसा नहीं हुआ कभी.
Yeah, I think it's more normal for people to not have a story because अगर हर किसी के पास story हो तो फिर वो value कम हो जाएगी. ठीक है. So anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't talk about?
Not really, yaar. I just hope. Look, I say some stupid stuff. It's just taken out of context very easily. So
Sure.
that was not my intention. जिस तरह अभी आपने वो आयत explain किया, मेरे तो दिमाग में भी नहीं वो aspect आया अभी. Damn. But हाँ, अक्सर यही होता है मेरे साथ कि मैं कुछ कहता हूँ या कुछ पोस्ट करता हूँ और वो बिल्कुल ही कहीं और से आता है, लेफ्ट फील्ड से आके मेरे मुंह पे लगता है. तो अगर कुछ ऐसा कहा हो तो आई एम वेरी सॉरी. आई डिड नॉट इंटेंड इट. आई होप नॉट. बट हाँ, इट्स बीन अ प्लेजर एंड आई एम सॉरी फॉर द लाइटिंग.
No, I think I love it. I think it's great. हमारा overlay भी काफी dark है ना, तो तुम बिल्कुल in shadow, हल्का सा green. Yeah, ठीक है.
Like beautiful.
I knew this would happen. I 100% knew this would happen. All right. Pakistan ka bijli system. This has been another TPR pod episode. I don't know what the number is, but you know who he is. It's more likely you don't know who they are. Bro, 100%. 100%.
No, it was a mask too.
Oh, sorry. I'm very old. Maulla per TPR pod, sort of a face reveal ugly the fuck. or maybe हो चुका होगा by the time something happens.
बस
All right, man. I'll see you when I see you. Clubhouse पे फिर करते हैं बात. ठीक है जी.
yep
Bye guys.
yep